Just a disclaimer, I am not a professional musician. This video will not include all aspects of music theory, just the parts that I deemed important for a PC setting. Alright, this is a frequency. The rate that a sound vibrates each second. The range from this frequency to this frequency is divided into 12 notes. These are the 12 used in Western music. There used to be just these notes, but these got added and now pianos look weird. These white notes have a name assigned to a letter, and these black notes have names based on the white notes next to them. So this note can be either called A sharp or a B flat, and they can be named interchangeably. The flat means to lower a note, and a sharp means to raise a note. Very confusing, I know, but that was just how it works because of sheet music. Don't worry though, sheet music isn't important when you're making music on a computer. A frequency that vibrates twice as fast is an octave higher of that same note. A frequency that vibrates half as fast is one octave lower. It sounds complicated, but look. C and also C. This C is just 12 notes higher than this C. The same applies to this B, or this F. Excluding certain notes out of these 12 gives us different keys or scales that can be used in songs. Certain notes played in succession sound good, but others sound bad generally. But there are ways to make it work. Whether the song is supposed to sound goofy, or it's supposed to sound dark and uncomfortable like in this song. Although this range has been divided into 12 notes by Western music, there are other divisions of these frequencies, and those are utilized in what's called microtonal music. Don't worry about it too much if you don't want to sound avant-garde, because the majority of music is not microtonal. That's because it sounds strange to the average person's ears. The fact that music is comprised of just these 12 notes does not mean that you can't make something great with them. Playing multiple notes at the same time makes something called a chord. Certain combinations of these notes sound good, but others don't usually. You can experiment to see which combinations sound good to you. They probably have a name if you search up all the notes within the chord. Or just search up what chords sound good in the key that you're currently using. And again, a dissonant chord can sound good in the right context. Humans inherently like order. They don't like when sounds sound random with no way to predict where else the sound could go. So people tend to favor music that seems to have a direction to it. But how do you make it predictable? Rhythm. Usually, songs have a time signature, which technically isn't real. Just think of it as a way musicians decided to organize songs into digestible chunks. The most common time signature is 4/4 time. The top number shows the number of beats per bar, and the bottom one just says how many beats go into a whole note. Okay, but what is a beat? Let me demonstrate in 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this scenario, 4 beats go into a bar. Bar meaning equally lengthed sections of time that a song is divided into. You can often find the time signature based on where the music seems to reset each bar. Also related to this is beats per minute. The more beats per minute a song has, the faster it is. Going back to whole notes, Knowing this one note can help you understand all others. Split it in half, and we get 2 half notes. Split it into 4 notes, and we get quarter notes. Splitting it into 8 gives us eighth notes, 16 gives us 16th notes, and so on. When we split it into 3 parts, that's called a quarter note triad, because 3? If we split it into 6 notes, we get an eighth note triad. You can probably guess where this pattern goes. Adding half a note to itself makes it a dotted note. So for example, a dotted quarter note and a dotted eighth note. You can also combine these combinations of notes together and create any length note in existence, and thus basically any rhythm. Now that you know about rhythm, the last part that's important, at least for the music theory part, is drums. This deep bassy sound is called a kick. It's designed for the low end frequencies. This snappy sound is called a snare and takes up the mid-range frequencies. This tinny sound is a hi-hat, taking up the high-end frequencies. There are a few other types of drums, but these are the main ones that I've seen in the vast majority of music, which includes game music. Varying uses of each of these drums can lead to different genres. Now that the music theory part is out of the way, time for the software side. To make music, you will need to install a DAW, short for Digital Audio Workstation. There are plenty of free DAWs out there, including the one I'm currently using, Cakewalk by BandLab, but some paid ones still have trial versions where you can try out the software, but without the feature of saving your projects. When choosing a DAW, it should be designed to make music with, so apps like Audacity aren't really recommended since they are more for general audio use. They don't have certain features like snapping to beats, which would be useful when making music. Although Audacity could be useful for making or editing sounds in ways that aren't possible inside of your DAW for music. I'm not going to run down how to use every single DAW out there since that would take forever. What I will say is that there are important things to keep in mind. Instruments are the most important aspects of any DAW, as they create sounds like a synth or a physical instrument, but can also create sounds like drums. You can search up how to install some for your DAW, but just know that not all of them are free. There are some that you will have to pay money for, like Serum. The same thing can apply to plugins, which you can add to an instrument to give it certain effects, like this. The piano roll is the area where you lay down your notes. This was what I was showing off previously in the video. I'm not sure how to end this video, but that's all I could fit into this part for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and aren't too overwhelmed with information. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if this video resonated with you. In part 2, I will discuss dynamic music and how it works. Not how to code it, but how it works generally. See ya.